Is it worth trying to start selling on Amazon in 2022? Hey, this is Nick Hodge with Sellers Arena, and I'm gonna share my perspective as an Amazon agency owner that's worked with products in all different types of categories. I'm gonna give you my perspective on whether it's worth it or not. Okay, so right off the bat, I guess the short answer would be yes, I think it's worth it. But I mean, is it easy? No. Okay, so let's get into it. So first of all, let me talk about my story and how I got started. This is a really important factor to decide whether it's going to be worth it or not for you specifically. And that is the reason why you're going to get started. So if I think about when I got started just selling my first product, I was just thinking, I just want to have a little extra income. Okay, I didn't really have any goal to build a huge brand or take it anywhere. I wasn't super passionate about the product. I was just like, I read the 4-Hour Work Week and I thought, well, hey, if I could just, make a little bit of extra money, maybe I could just coast by with a little extra cash and not even have to depend on a job anymore. That sounded cool. And that's not a terrible reason. It's definitely not a bad idea to try to find ways to make passive income. But, I quickly realized when I got into it, it's just not that easy. Okay, when you're starting out in a business, any kind of business, anything that's worth doing that's going to make you any kind of money, especially passive income, it's not going to be easy at first. Nothing worth doing is easy in the beginning. So with that said, I think that's one of the most important factors, one of the most important keys now, because if you're someone that's just trying to make a little bit of extra cash, I don't think that investment is going to be worth it, because I think now more than ever, it's going to take a lot more money to get started in the beginning. I can't give you an exact number on that because it can depend on the category. It can depend on the resources you have available. It can depend on where you're able to source the product. And these are things we can talk about in other videos. Quick example would be like sourcing a product from Mexico. Maybe not always thinking, oh, I got to get everything from China. Their shipping rates are through the roof. So, just a side note, that might be another option. Try seeing, depending on your product, if you can source the product from somewhere a lot closer to avoid all those huge shipping costs. So what I'm trying to say is not that you can't just start on Amazon just to make some extra income, but I think you just need to have in mind that it may not be it's going to be kind of expensive in the beginning unless you're able to get lucky maybe and find a product that may just be starting to, you catch a trend or something like that. You catch the beginning of a trend, you get lucky, you find a new product or niche that's starting to get popular and you're able to get in the beginning. And there are tools that can help you with that, like Helium 10, Jungle Scout, for example, and there's others out there too. But I think in the end, the advantage is always going to go to the person that's trying to start selling on Amazon, that's actually trying to build a brand, or that's already got a brand or selling products on a website, and then they want to move into Amazon. Of course, in their case, sometimes, and they have already got this huge business that they're dealing with, and they don't necessarily have time to deal with, oh, now I got to learn how to do PPC, and now I got to learn all the different ins and outs in Amazon and SEO related to Amazon, all those types of things to make sure they do it right. That's a whole nother story though, and maybe they need to hire out help. So they have additional costs in that way. But again, if you're actually trying to grow a brand, the investment is going to be worth it in the long run. And I think as long as you're able to use all the resources out there, whether you use additional resources like influencers or ads on other platforms to help drive traffic to your listings in the short run while you're still trying to grow the brand in the beginning, give yourself a little extra boost and not solely rely on just Amazon's PPC platform, that can really help to grow the brand a lot faster. Now, another thing to keep in mind, because you may be thinking there's just no room left on Amazon, but you got to remember the world is constantly changing and it may take some time. There's always going to be new trends. There's always going to be demand that changes, that fluctuates in different markets and different categories on Amazon, for example. And new products that used to be unpopular become more popular, become in higher demand. And maybe if you were able to get in on the ground floor earlier when there wasn't as much competition, now all of a sudden you're in a better position. I think it's worth just in general, watching the news, paying attention to current trends, what people are talking about on social media. There's all kinds of different things, especially if you can niche it down. Say if your general interest is fitness, Well, there's a lot of different ways you can go in fitness, okay? And there's lots of different types of products you can sell that are related to fitness that, you could build a brand around, or you could start to build a brand around. So maybe you pay attention to the fitness community as an example, and you see what is most talked about lately. And maybe you think of solutions that could possibly help them. Maybe you think of a brand new product, or maybe you think of a product that's not so popular yet, or maybe you're able to formulate a brand new supplement. But yeah, these are just some things to keep in mind, especially if you're sitting there and you're contemplating whether it's worth it or not for you. If you haven't gotten started yet and you're thinking, okay, well, do I want to invest in crypto, or do I want to invest in Amazon? Do I want to invest in the stock market? Do I want to start another business completely unrelated to products? Some things to keep in mind to help weigh your options. I know the video is kind of a little bit all over the place, just kind of my thoughts, throwing them out there. But I can tell you one of the most important things, and that is to at least try. If this is something that you're really interested in, that you really think would be cool to do, definitely at least try. Don't just sit there and do nothing, okay? Take some sort of action, because the worst thing you can do is just do nothing and not learn anything, because that's, at the very least, like I did when I first got started, I broke even. Maybe I even took a little bit of a loss, but I learned a lot. The education value, not just from learning Amazon and the platform in the beginning, but just learning business all around. I learned a lot about business. And then we decided to change directions. My business partner, Aaron, and I, now we have an agency, and that of course accelerated how quickly we learned Amazon, being able to test and try things out and implement strategies that we learned from the past, along with new strategies that we're continually learning now with all different types of products and brands in all different types of categories. But yeah, guys, if you got some value out of this video, definitely give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll be making some more videos like this one, just kind of giving you our thoughts and our experiences and just kind of our perspective of Amazon from an agency owner side. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.